What's going on today, guys? All right, so today I want to talk about 5 things you shouldn't do when you're beginning your plant journey.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel where if you know, you can grow. So let's erase our doubt and let's pay attention because with Sean, it's always something to learn.
Number 1, don't start with high maintenance plants. I know that these calatheas and these orchids are very convenient for you to buy from the store. However, those are not beginner plants. I don't even know why they have them in the store like that. They should be in nurseries, in my opinion. But don't start with those. Start with stuff like your ZZ plants and your pothos. Those you can pick up from your local big box store, and they even carry them in the grocery store. See, the thing is, you want to choose an easy plant because that's going to build your confidence. It's going to make you achieve more. If you start with something that knocks you on your butt when you first start, it's going to make your confidence very low and you're going to be less likely to try again. Number 2, don't overwater your plant. You don't have to water your plant weekly or daily. Like, they're not us, they're not humans. They don't drink water that fast. Do this. Get you a moisture meter, because chances are that you're a beginner and that you're using your mix right out the bag, right? Because you may not have built the confidence enough to make it. So a moisture meter is going to work perfect for you. Now, as you start adding stuff into your mix, that moisture meter won't work because it's some magnetic thing inside of there that's able to measure the moisture. But once we throw things like perlite and orchid bark in there, it throws it all the way off. So it's no longer useful to us. But at the very beginning stages, you could benefit from a moisture meter. You can get them from Amazon. That's the easiest way to sell, or a store. In addition to that, make sure you do your research. Find out a little information. I mean, information is online everywhere. Find out what the watering needs are for that plant, so you can correlate between when you should water your plant based on how much light you're giving your plant. These are the things that you just want to research to kind of know, just to ensure that your plant thrive. The plants that I'm giving you right now, though, the ones that I gave you at the start, those plants right there, even if you don't do everything I'm telling you to do, they'll do all right. Trust me, I know. And 3, definitely go hand in hand with the Google search I was talking about. Don't misunderstand your plant's lighting needs. It is crucial. When a plant needs, let's just say, bright indirect light, what that meaning is that plant needs to be somewhere around a window, and it needs to be some sun that can come in, not that's beaming on the leaves, but some sun around it. That's what bright indirect mean, not beaming on the leaves. Now, when it says direct light, that means the sun can beam on it, but most plants that I know do not like that. When you're talking about like your succulents, things like that, plants like that, and don't quote me on Hoyas, I'm not for sure. But when you get to those type of plants, they may require, but I don't know anything about that. So I'm not going to give you any information on that. All I know is that most indoor plants, at least the ones that are very common that I keep, they don't like that sun beaming on their leaves. Okay. So just make sure that if it's an indoor plant and it says bright indirect, it just means light is in the room, but not beaming on it. If it says direct, that means that plant is okay to get direct sunlight. Now, grow lights. You can get them. I didn't know they existed. They give off the light. Now, I don't feel like they give it the exact light that comes from the sun, but of course you're competing with nature here. But they do a very good job to emulate that light coming in to help your plants to be able to thrive. So this grow light, guys, you can move them anywhere you want them to go. I'll do a video and we'll talk about them a little bit more as to what kind I have and where you can get them from. Very quick, Amazon for most. But you definitely can use these grow lights to keep your plants healthy. And you can put these plants that require light. Now you can keep a plant in a closet. Am I encouraging you to do that? No, but you can keep a plant in a closet essentially because you have your grow lights and your plant's receiving it. So these work good for low light rooms. So keep that in mind that you can get that. 4, and it probably should have been my first. Do not ignore pest. I'm going to say that again. Do not ignore pest. All right. Guys, they don't go away. If you have a pest problem, hop on it immediately, because that pest will go from that plant to that plant to that plant to that plant. And the disease, it only gets worse as it progresses, as with anything. So don't assume that it's going to go away. No, hop on it. The best thing that I could tell you to do, you can go to Google and type in 5 top things for pest prevention, or you could just hang with me and I'm gonna show you right quick. I know it sounds like I'm giving a testimony, but it's the truth, guys. So insecticidal soap, this right here is the best one that I've ever used. I know that they have different brands. I don't get paid for this. I'm just showing you what I use. This works really good. And you can get this from your big box stores, your Lowe's, Home Depots, they have it. So it's very convenient to get. I would say you could still go on Amazon though and get like a 2-pack for a little bit cheaper. So I would say do that too. Next, the systemic. Now I had the systemic houseplant control. I had that one, but it was just a little bitty bottle. I think we talked about it before. I'm using this and you use less of it and you get way more of it for your price. So you can't beat this. But you need these guys if you want to do any type of pest prevention. They take care of everything. I haven't had a problem with nothing. Now that we talked about the stuff to use to prevent them, let's talk about a little bit of how we can really prevent them. You're a new plant buyer, okay? You're going to be eager to pick up anything that your eye chooses to love. Inspect your plant. And I know that's something very hard to say because in the beginning, you may not know exactly what to look for. But these right here, I'm going to go ahead and tell you to look out for these 2. Mealybugs and thrips. Mealybugs and thrips. You can Google them, put them on there, screenshot on your phone, and then when you go to the store, look under the leaves and look for those 2. You don't want those problems. You don't. I mean, you don't want any pest problems, but those are the very, very, very 2 common ones that I run into anytime I go into most stores. They're not particularly in nurseries. You don't really have to worry about that, but I'm not just saying go in there and just assume everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. But I haven't had a problem going into like a local nursery because mom and pop gonna take care of their plants. You don't have to worry about that because they can't afford to have one plant knock it all out. Home Depot, Lowe's, like, oh, well, plant collection done for the month. Let's get another one. But, so look up those 2. Okay, take that to the store with you. It's going to save you a lot of headache in the future. So let's just assume now that the plants are good and you're ready to bring them home. I still will encourage you to spray them and set them to the side just for 3, 4, 5 days, just quarantining them. We just want to make sure that they still don't have anything to bring to the room. Because the plant may look fine, and then 2 or 3 days you start seeing it yellowing and doing some things. Won't you be happy that it didn't give that to your other plants? So just think about that. And when you bring them home to quarantine them, spray those leaves top and bottom. Get you a cloth. I would say a Viva paper towel. Those are very, very, very soft. Wipe underneath the plant, leaves, stem, everywhere you can get, and then let it quarantine for a little while. And for the 5th one, I kind of want to circle back around to the first one. Don't buy too many plants. Get you 2 to 3 plants to start with. I know that it's fun. I know that you're ready to buy every single plant you can, but I promise you, you will overwhelm yourself. And plants will just start dying and you won't even care anymore because you have so many plants that you're trying to learn and care for. It's okay to just take your time and learn it. I wish I would have slowed down. It would have saved me a lot of money and a lot of headache. But I was eager. I was ready and I had the money to be able to buy it. My plants aren't the most expensive plants in the world. They're not. They're very common. Now I do have some big ticket items in here. But every one of those big ticket items, I made sure I start off with the basic of the basic of the basic to learn how to care for that plant. because it's nothing worse than spending $200-300 on a plant and it dies. I actually did that recently, about a year ago. The Monstera Thai Constellation. Never had one before. Just wanted to get one. Figured because I could care for a Monstera Deliciosa, I would be all right. Brought it home, guys. Plant did good for about 4 or 5 months. Did a repot on it. Everything went great. You know what happened? It got thrips. I didn't even know it got thrips because this is the first time I ever had an outbreak with any type of monsteras at all. This year just been a tough year in general, just with pests. I've never had any type of pests. That's why I'm talking to you about make sure you do your pest prevention. Don't just assume it's going to go away. I assumed it was going to go away, and it wiped out almost half of my collection for me to wake up and be like, hey, you need to do something. So don't do that. Get in there, take care. But I bought that Thai Constellation and it caught thrips. And yeah, that's how I lost that plant. I spent $180 on that plant. And after I did that, I think like 4 months, when was it? Somewhere around like June, July, they started popping up in the store for $50 or $80. I didn't get one because at the time mine was still doing okay, but I wish I would have started off with that plant at that price, because if it would have died, I would have gone back to try it again. But now I'm terrified to go and try it again because I went so high. But if I catch one for $40, maybe. The Carmel Marble Philodendrons, they're absolutely beautiful. One probably at this size would probably run you maybe $500-600. I'm not exactly for sure. But this one doesn't. This one only runs us about $25 to $50 because it's a reverted. I love the shape of the leaves so much that, hey, to me, whether it's Carmel variegated or not, still a beautiful plant to me. But hopefully you all was able to learn a little something from it. I was able to deliver a little bit of information. I kind of sat down the other day and wrote out a couple of good things that I would like to kind of share with you all. And yeah, that was a few of them. Anyway, always remember when you're growing with Sean, it's always something to learn.